This is before and after pictures. I just typed in Photoshop before and after pictures. And it's interesting just to look through some of these. There's a lot of examples of what is done to celebrities and what you see in magazine publications, online, all that kind of stuff is usually not reality. So just by looking through these, you can see there's a lot of different examples of people being photoshopped, their bodies being photoshopped, the lighting changed, wrinkles taken away. So take a little bit of time to look through those. Today I want to go through just how to do basic body retouching, and it's really just using one specific tool called the Liquify tool. So this assignment, I would like you to choose a a person, and it's a lot easier if you use something with a white background. And one of these, you're going to take somebody and make them look bigger, and then one of them, you're going to take somebody and make them look smaller. So I want you to try both, and you'll need before and after pictures on your website for both. And so the first one I'm going to do is making someone look bigger. And you can use, when you choose yours, you can use guys or girls. I don't care what you use. Just pick something that you want to use. But for now, just watch what I'm doing. You can pick later, but just watch what I'm doing up here. So I'm going to go pretty fast. And so this person right here, first thing I'm going to do is go up to my filter and then liquify, and that will get me to this new screen. And up in the upper left, it should be on the forward warp tool. You can feel free to mess around with these. There's other applications for them, but for this, we're just going to use this particular tool. So my bracket keys, I'm going to make this a little bigger. And what this tool does, it just stretches out whatever you're working on. So if it's small, like this, and you stretch it out, it just stretches out one small part. So it will take a little bit of practice of sort of getting used to this. So what I want to do is make this guy look a little bit bigger. I'm going to make his shoulders a little bit more broad. I'm going to pull his arms out a little bit, give him some more muscles. And it's very subtle. You're just going to do a tiny bit at a time. Notice how big the circle is that I'm using. And if I go small, then it doesn't quite do what I want. Oops. And so you'll go through and you can just try stuff out. And there's some other things that you can do. For instance, like right here, I need to make it a little bit smaller, otherwise I'll get his chin or neck into the whole thing. And so I'm going to grab just the edges there. Notice where I'm putting it. I'm just putting it just on the edge. I'm just barely pulling it out like that. So it needs to be believable. It can't be some monstrosity where you're just making something huge. And I'm going to maybe pull his legs out a tiny bit, but not much. It's different because he's got jeans on, so it's a little bit harder to deal with there. Alright, so I didn't do much. Alright, so also what you can do is notice how the light is coming down. If I put a little more light up here on his chest, it might make it look like his chest is bigger, just if I, because of the shadow part of it. So if I am up here, my exposure is 40%. I don't know if it's going to be that noticeable. We'll give it a shot. And if it is, it's just going to be very subtle. So I'm just lightening up his shirt right now, and it's really hard to see, but that's what I'm doing. And it might just give it a slight look of more of a shadow down here, and I might even be able to darken up using the burn tool down here below to give it a little more of a shadow to make it look like his chest is a little bit larger than it is. I maybe used it a little too much there. Alright, so that was very subtle. I didn't have to do much, and I made him just look a little bit bigger. Also, if you want to do face touch-ups on these, go ahead and do that. Alright, so this one, we've got Dr. Dre. He's a pretty big guy, and we want to slim him down a little bit. And so I'm going to, again, go to the filter and then liquefy. Make sure you don't go to filter and then the first liquefy. Otherwise, that's going to give you the same thing that was on the last one you were working on. So it would make him balloon out a little bit. So go to this one right here. So I'm going to go to liquefy. And for him, I'm going to make this a lot bigger. And I'm just going to, for the most part, just bring everything in a little bit. Even the arms. I'm just going to bring all this in. Because this is going to bring in his stomach a little bit as well. Alright, so we're slimming him down. And let's bring this in a little bit. This is a lot of just trial and error. Slimming his arms down a little bit. And again, it needs to look believable. If for some reason it's not, then just redo it. And it's going to be a little bit difficult up here because he's got these really large back muscles here. So it's making it a little bit challenging. So you may have to go in and just ever so slightly bring this stuff down like that. Alright, so let's just say we were satisfied with that part of it. We slimmed him down enough. I want to go to my eyedropper tool. I'm going to eyedropper the background, and then I'm going to use my paintbrush. I'm going to zoom way in here, and I want to kind of get rid of some of this back here. So we're just going to slim that down a little bit over here. We don't want to do too much because it's just not going to look right. We'll see when we back it out of here. Alright. And then it may not work out that well because of over here. It's not going to match, but okay. The last thing is the... I'm going to zoom back out here. The lighting on here. So notice how the light is coming down onto his chest, and it makes his chest, you can tell that he's got a big chest because this light is a little bit brighter right there. So I can go to my burn tool, and then I can sort of take down the light on his chest, and it'll just make it look a little bit slimmer. My exposure's at 29. It's a little much. I'm going to bump that down. And I'm just going to get rid of some of this lighting up here so that the chest doesn't look as big. So that's another way to slim someone down, is with the lighting. Especially he's wearing black, so it makes it a little easier. Just makes it less noticeable. If you're not quite satisfied with your liquefy tool, you might want to go back. Like I'd go back in here and I'd probably fix this arm here and slim that down a little bit. Like if you went back into filter, liquefy, yeah, and I'd probably just bring this stuff in just a little bit right there. It just is still a little too much. Alright, so again, you're going to make a before and after for making someone look larger, and then a before and after for making someone look smaller, and then you've got the face retouch before and after. So those three things are what I'm looking for when I check your work, and that'll probably be Monday or Tuesday.